Hey folks, welcome to Horsemanship 101 again. Just happened to come across a news article recently that some graphic pictures and such that prompt this one. Just a quick one here. One thing, a while back somebody actually accused me, said your horse doesn't know how to tie. Too bad you can't tie your horse. Well, as you can see, she is tied. She does tie quite well. That's not a problem. I just prefer not to, because it reduces stress levels if the thing isn't confined when you're trying to tack it up, saddle it, whatever. And I've taught her to stand still while I'm doing it, so I don't need to tie. Okay, but on the note of tying, I'll show you something here. Recently I saw some rather graphic pictures. Some lady who had a lot of experience with horses was trying to untie her horse from a post, and in the process got her fingers under the rope. The horse happened to freak out at the moment and pulled back, and she ended up losing a couple of fingers, or at least parts of them. It wasn't pretty, and that's very easy to avoid by how you tie. Now I would think that if she had a lot of experience she'd know better, but I just want to show you something here. The way I've got her tied right now, this end here, if anything actually ever did go wrong and I had to undo her in a hurry, I just pull that and it's off. That's how I tie. It's a quick release knot. It can be undone in a flash if anything goes wrong, if it really does come down to an emergency, and I'm never going to get my fingers caught in that one. So just a little suggestion, learn how to tie properly. It might save your fingers, because it's happened many times in the past to other people. And again, I just saw a news article, some pictures, rather graphic ones, of a lady that lost a couple fingers due to that little accident. And it's entirely preventable. Like I said, prevention. Safety is all about preventing the accident, not worrying about how you're going to deal with it when it happens. And like the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So use your head, think ahead, plan, tie properly, and be safe. Okay? Have a good day, folks. Hey folks, welcome to Horsemanship 101 again. I recently posted a little video. I was talking about an accident that happened where, a horse panicked, somebody tried rescuing it, got their fingers caught in the rope and ended up losing some fingers. And I got asked, how do you tie safely? And, well, I'm sure there's probably 100 different ways to do it, but this is how I do it. And I don't have a horse on the other end of this lead right now because, well, don't need one right now. There. Now, I'm going to just demonstrate quickly. Take the lead, go around, pull a loop up through. Now that alone isn't going to hold. If the horse pulls hard enough, that's going to spin around. It's going to come undone. But I got lots of extra here, so I'm just going to run it through again. And I can run it through again. Twice is enough, 3 times is great. And depending on how much lead you got, well, this is a great way to use up some extra rope. And actually, somebody saw me doing this one time and say, hey, do you realize that's crocheting? And at the end of it, if I don't plan on doing it, I'm just using up extra rope, I can just stick the tail through like that, and it's not going to come undone. However, for the purpose of tying a horse, I'm going to leave that tail out, because then I can grab it, and no matter how many times I've looped it, I can just pull it, it comes undone, and it's off. Okay. Nothing's going to get wrapped around. I've seen people actually take and put the lead around all the way, and then tie it, and they do make a quick release of sorts, but what ends up happening is after it all comes undone, the lead is still around, and you don't want that. Now, if you want to know how to do a knot like this, ask Mr. Google. I'm sure he's got lots of answers. I want to talk about 3 aspects that I believe were done wrong in that instance that caused an injury. First, the horse was never properly taught to tie in the first place. And it's not hard to teach a horse to tie. If it's properly trained on the ground to give the pressure on the halter, like this, when you put pressure on the halter, guess which direction the horse moves? It doesn't pull back. She isn't fighting me. I'm using 2 fingers on the halter and she's coming along. Okay? She's been taught to respond to pressure on the halter, and if you do that, I never taught her to tie. I didn't have to, because by the time I got to that point, tying her wasn't much of an issue. Okay, so first off, that horse wasn't taught to tie properly. The second problem was, and I've talked about this before, if a horse panics, don't rush in to rescue it. Okay? If it pulls back with the rope halter on, it's going to be uncomfortable enough. It's going to say, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. You know, it'll do it for a minute when it panics because it'll go into panic mode, and you know that's going to happen. But you know, give it a minute to think, and it's going to settle down and go, oh yeah, okay, I don't want to be doing this, and it'll stop. If you rush in and you run up to the horse to try and save it and try and rescue it, you know, that's the absolute wrong thing to do, because all you're going to do is scare the horse that much more. And if it's already panicking and it's tied, you can make it really bad by rushing in like that. Okay, so that was the second thing that was done. The third thing that was done wrong, in my opinion, is they didn't know how to tie it properly in the first place, because otherwise they wouldn't have gotten their fingers caught in it, because when if they tie it properly, you know, and like I said, there's probably a dozen different ways of doing this. You know, this is just my way, and you know, pull through as many times as you want, depending on how much lead you got and how short you got the horse tied and how long your lead is. And then when it has to be undone in a hurry, nobody's getting their fingers caught. Okay, so pretty simple. Just take the lead. You know, say this is the part the horse is tied to, this end. Bring it around. Come up through like that. And then just keep repeating the process. Through. 2 or 3 times is usually sufficient. You can go 4. You can't go too many. It doesn't really matter. You can go as many as you want. If the horse pulls hard enough, it's going to tighten up here. It's not going to come undone. I could pull this fence down before that knot's going to come undone. But at the same time, all I got to do is grab the upper end, give it a yank, and it's off. Okay? Simple as that, folks. So, train your horse to tie. Train your horse, do your groundwork properly, teach it to respond to pressure, and tying isn't an issue. That's really what teaching a horse to tie is teaching it to respond to pressure properly so that it doesn't panic when it pulls back. If it feels pressure, it just steps ahead, takes the pressure off. Don't be an idiot and rush in to rescue your horse, because a horse doesn't need to be rescued. They're smart. They'll figure it out in a second that it's not a good idea to pull. And rushing in is just going to make it worse. The situation will escalate. And, of course, learn how to tie properly, and you're not going to lose fingers. Okay, folks, be safe and have fun with your pony. Bye.